Well, we're out here burning a brush pile today. A brush pile that has probably been there about a year, I would think. I mean, it's been a while. I've had it piled up and I've been wanting to do away with it and just waiting for the right day. And got a lot of rain the last couple of days. The ground's real wet. I don't know whether you can see how muddy that is right there where I did some work. I lit it about 45 minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, and it was piled up. It was, way up here piled up. All the little stuff is burned down. Got a good bed of coals now on the ground. And now there's a lot of big stuff, big logs, tree trunks and stuff like that are gonna have to burn. And, that's just gonna take a while. I'll put my bucket on. I like to always, as one gets a little bit less heat in it, when it's a little bit easier to approach, even with a tractor. You don't want your paint peeling off of it. You don't want your hoses melting. So you don't get too close for too many seconds, let's put it that way. So, and I can feel the heat from right here. I'm 40 feet away, maybe 50. And the wind is kind of blowing my direction, but I can definitely feel the heat on it from here. So once it starts burning down a little bit more and I get it a little bit more manageable as far as being able to approach it, get the heat a little bit more manageable, then I will start pushing at it with my bucket, trying to pile it up into a smaller area, pushing from the sides, and just try to get it, contained in a smaller area. And that's going to burn for days and days. But try to get it where it's not huge and tall, and throwing out a bunch of embers. Right now the ground is pretty wet, the grass is wet, big heavy dew this morning, so we really wasn't worried about the embers, and that's one reason I went ahead and lit it. The wind speed is about 6 miles per hour, 6 or 7, which is good. We've been having real high winds, obviously had some storming and stuff like that. But I'll try to set up the camera when I put the bucket on, start pushing at it, because that's kind of the secret of getting a pile burned up, is to push it close, tight. And it's also the secret of your embers, your coals, lasting for weeks and weeks. But, it's got to be done. Right now, that right side is piled up real heavy with smaller stuff, and, 4, 5, 6 inches in diameter. And it's really going to start cooking, and it's going to get hot. Stuff on the left is where I started it, but it's beginning to burn down. And, again, I'll show you some pushing on it, and I try to do that and let you see what is going on and how I burn one, how I like to push it up, get it tight, especially if I'm going to leave it overnight or something like that. Just get it as tight as I can. And that big stuff is going to take a long time to burn, and it may not be burnt by this afternoon. Probably won't be. We'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I need to come in here and pick up some of these sticks and throw in there. But when I'm pushing, again, trying to get down to the dirt, and that's what my dirt is, just hard red clay. Trying to get down just to the top layer of the dirt, just scraping off the coals. And then banking that dirt up, as well as banking the coals up. Some of those pieces, like that piece right there, is still about 2 feet in diameter. I mean, it's about 2 feet. The one on top there is about 3 feet long, and it's 2 feet in diameter. So they still got a lot of burning to do. And then when it's, you know, when it's done, when it's completely done, and I've run some water on it, or it's got some good rain and stuff, then I'll just spread it out, and all that ash is good for this ground. So it'll make this grass grow like crazy. I'll go around the backside and show you. And you know, right here, it's hot. I mean, I'm 15 feet away from it, and it's not singeing my hair hot, but it's pretty dadgum close. This is what it's gonna look like. I'll show you in the morning, tomorrow, what it looks like. It'll burn down quite a bit. Most of that'll be gone in the morning. My experience, and I have burned dozens of brush piles that would make this one look like teeny weeny. So let me bring you back in the morning. Well, I said I was gonna bring you out here the next morning, but it's actually been about 24 hours. This is the next afternoon. And it's, as you can see, down to almost nothing. There's some really good coals going on, a lot of burning going on. That is the inside of a big part of the trunk or a stump that's kind of shelled out now, burned out now. Got a big piece right here, but it's going. It's all going to get burnt up. I would say it's probably 12 feet wide and maybe 3 or 4 feet at the very highest peak there. So it's just about gone, considering it was all 20 or 30 feet long and probably 10 feet tall. So looks good, but just want to reiterate that this is by no means out. It will look like it's out a day or two from now. I can even throw some water on it, and you'd think it was out, but it's not. It's going to burn like this. There's a lot of stuff underneath, a lot of hot bed of coals, and once the coals get covered with this ash, it just it holds that heat in, and it's just going to take a long time. So just anytime you burn something, some brush piles and stuff, be very, very careful. They don't go out quick at all. The dangers of burning a brush pile, because it is dangerous while you're doing it, but it's also dangerous for weeks afterwards if you don't make sure you've absolutely got it put out and then spread out. And that means when you think it's out, then take your tractor and spread it out and let those coals separate, get them all separated, and then they will go out. So I won't show you all that because it's going to be a while. All right, I think that's it. We're gone.